So I thought I'd cover something that has been discussed a lot over the last couple of weeks, uh, internally here at Blooming Social Media, but also with customers. And that's around the whole thing of should you be going for the kind of big bang or slow burn. So I've called this one attention grabbing or value adding. Uh, and the whole kind of ethos is you be trying to get the attention of your existing and new customers or audience with a one-off big bang, or should you be slowly releasing content out there and letting it grow organically, or alternatively, should you be doing both? Big question, but let's get into it. I suppose you can break it down into, firstly, it's budget. I think one of the whole selling points that attracts small businesses to, especially to social media, is the fact that you don't need a massive budget to do it. You're actually more in control of doing a lot of the social media stuff yourself. And because of that, there's this big illusion that it's free, which it certainly isn't. And the second one is that it's easy. So budget, I think, plays a massive part. I think if all of us had a big budget, then we'd go for the big bang and perhaps the slower stuff, the value adding stuff as well. But for many smaller businesses, that's just not the reality of it. Let's be honest. So I think where you've seen people have kind of, and it's a very small group of people who have managed to really do that, is, I suppose a good example would be someone like Joe Wicks, the body coach. A couple of years ago, he was, like many other personal trainers out there, stood on a street corner handing out leaflets trying to get customers, and then he came up with the idea for the Lean in 15, like little 15-second recipes, and he decided that he would do that on Instagram. And now the guy's, selling tens of thousands of books a week. He's got 1 million people following him on Facebook. He's got over 1 million followers on Instagram. He's doing book tours all over the world. And that was a guy that started off with a very limited budget. So interesting to see. There are people that can do it, but don't get me wrong, that guy had to put a lot of time and effort into to get him where he is, although he didn't start out with a massive budget. I suppose the next element really is the time. If you've got the time to add that value and slowly build it up, then that's got to be a preferred option to spending thousands, if not tens of thousands of pounds going for the big bang. I suppose it depends on the industry as well. But, if you've only got a short window, 3-6 months to get your business off the ground, because that is your sole way of earning your income, then I think you've got to think about going big bang, and you can't really let it grow organically. You've got to really give it some force and some momentum and some budget behind it and some time and effort. If, however, you're starting your business and you've already got another job, your day job, and that's where your income's coming from, then you can afford to let it grow a bit more organically. So there's arguments for both. It's interesting when I speak to many businesses that really aren't doing social media yet. Their big argument for not doing it is often not money, it's time. And time, I think, only matters if you don't perceive something's got a value. Why do people not make time to go to the gym? Why do people not make time to spend more time with their family? It's because they're valuing other things above that. The other thing is what's relevant to your business is the big attention grabbing big launch, what your business needs. Or are you better off just taking time and adding value and building more long-term business that way? Perhaps you've already got the attention. You're in a very lucky position where you don't need that big bang, and people want your product. They're knocking your door down to get your product, in which case the only thing you can do is just keep adding extra value to maintain that market. But for most of us, that's never really going to be the case. For many startups or many growing businesses, especially in those first 3 to 5 years, you've got to really grind and work at it and keep adding value, because otherwise somebody else doing similar to what you do will just come along and take your customers. If anybody who's thinking about doing live streaming, handy to have some notes. And I suppose the whole thing around the effort and risk. It's interesting, I was speaking to someone this week. One of their businesses has not been doing a lot on social because of the industry they're in. There's a lot of complaining about their industry, and they expect that once they're on social that they'll get loads and loads of complaints on there. But is that a valid reason not to do something? You know, you can't stay out of the technology or the movement that's happening that's going to help you grow your business because you're worried that people are going to criticise you. They're already, if they are criticising you, they're criticising you anyway, and they're criticising you to the people that want to buy that potentially might buy your product or your service. So it's already damaging your business. It doesn't matter if you're on social media. A lot of businesses, I suppose, it is an effort thing as well. They're more comfortable just doing what they've always done, you know, paying their couple £100 a month to the local press to have that little banner at the bottom of the front page, or a little, you know, quarter page article that goes in once a month, and they're happy doing that. They're comfortable with it. They can't measure the success of it, but they're kind of comfortable with it. You know, there's a lot of that going on. There's a line from Shakespeare, from King Lear, which says nothing can come of nothing, and that's never been true in modern business. So you can do nothing and you can be guaranteed to get nothing. So if you don't do the social, you won't get any business through social. It's just the nature of it, and that seems very natural. But you could do something and you might get nothing, but equally you might get something, but you don't know until you try. So my ethos is doing something is always better than doing nothing. So should you be attention grabbing or value adding, or both? I think it all depends on your market. It depends on your customers, their expectations, your time, the effort, the value you place on your marketing. And also, one thing you have to think about is the value adding can actually be the catalyst for the attention grabbing. So to put that into context, Joe Wicks, the body coach, is perfectly that. So he added a lot of value by doing these Lean In 15 videos. Do check him out. Look for just go into Facebook and type the body coach. So he did these Lean In 15 videos, which then got him the attention. That ballooned until he's got 1 million followers on Facebook, 1 million followers on Instagram. And then off the bat, he got a 3-book deal, and he's touring over the States at the moment. So if I was saying small businesses with limited budget, look for the value added. If you've got a bit of marketing budget, then you can go for the big bang. So thanks for joining us. If you watch this back, feel free to comment below. I'd like to get your opinion. If Twitter's your thing, follow us on Twitter at BloomingHQ. If you want to follow me personally, it's at BloomingJim. Also, don't forget you can join us on Snapchat if that's your thing. Just search for Blooming Social. Thanks for your time. Take care.